Hello, lovely beings, and welcome to another Galactic Mayan astrology report. So, I'm not laying in bed losing my shit like I was in the last Wavespell video. Things have eased now and out of the flu zone. I'm settled into my new abode. Check this shit. Oh my god, this cottage is amazing. It's so beautiful. We had like 2 weeks of children's school holidays, which meant my beautiful partner's beautiful children being with us a lot, and all of the magic and intensity that comes with a 5 and 7 year old. And yeah, it feels like it's been quite a big initiation. And the previous wave spell, White Dog, was my birth wave spell, and I'm recording this at the tail end. So tomorrow, the 12th day, is my Galactic Mind birthday. But this is a report for Sunday, the 21st of April. Just time now is like, in it. And yeah, we're moving to a new wave spell, a new 13-day process. Thank you for all of the shout outs about my new snazzy webcam, by the way. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's very profesh. And yeah, it feels nice to have good tech because I use tech so much. And anyway, side note. So the wave spells process that we are moving into is in the energy of blue night. So what's blue night all about? Blue night is about the subconscious realm. Blue night is about the dream. Blue night is a blue sign, so it's all about transformation. And yeah, the blue night energy is often linked to like the Aboriginal dream time and this space of potentiality. And I do really love blue night because I find the subconscious and the manifestation portal of humanity really interesting and really fascinating. And I've spent a lot of time and energy over my time on the path. Exploring the mind and exploring the subconscious and exploring consciousness, and that's really what blue night energy is about. So essentially, like, all begins in the watery realms of the subconscious, and whether we are utilizing it consciously or not, we are the creator consciousness of this reality. And if we are operating from a place of making the subconscious conscious, what does that even mean? We're born and we get conditioned. We get conditioned by the environment and the belief systems of our parents and of our culture. It's like, this is what it means to be here. Because when we beam in, I believe that our soul is very much intact and we're very much here. But on like a human level, we're a fresh blank slate. So we're constantly like gathering information to try and make sense of what's happening. So whatever the imprint is, and sometimes it's about the feeling of the environment as well. So it's like, is it safe? Is it unsafe? All these different pieces, they become our primary imprint, that become our like understanding of the reality and understanding of the world. So in that early few years, and again, the beauty of all this is, with psychology and with like child development and with spirituality, it's like all the fields merge into one common understanding, and like Steiner's understanding comes into this as well. So we now know that from like birth to 7, the subconscious or the mind is kind of being formulated, and that first 7 years creates the framework that we then continue to build upon. So what's happening in that time is our subconscious realm is being created. We beam in from a place of neutrality and openness, and then all of a sudden all these constructs get created in our subconscious realm, in our mind, in our deepest essence, and then they are the filter that we process information through. And because we are creator consciousness, that filter is then what we create reality through. It's not just how we see and experience things, it's how things come out of us too. So the whole journey of our relationship with our subconscious is when it is subconscious, when we're not aware that that's what we're operating through, we constantly create more and more experiences through this filter, which makes that belief stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. Get to 30, however many years you've had operating through this belief system or through this series of belief systems, which means that subconsciously there is a lot of construction. You know, you could imagine it as like cities that have been built within us. So the process of making the subconscious conscious is to be able to identify the things, these structures that are in the subconscious as untruths, if they're hindering us. And I think this is something when, you know, when it comes to conscious evolution, some paths, I would say like Buddhism, take us into the realm of like disintegrate everything and operate in a space of nothingness, which for personal evolution purposes may be a wonderful way to exist. And vibrationally, your offering to the planet is very pure, so you're transmitting a high vibration. But I would say, particularly those of us in the West, have got a slightly different mission. And we are here to construct new things in our subconscious realms that support us to create different things. So not only are we dismantling what has been accidentally created in our subconscious realms that we're then accidentally filtering our experiences through and our creator consciousness through, and accidentally creating again and again and again in the universe's attempt to mirror back, this is what you're creating, is this what you want? Not only are we like dismantling those creations, we also have space within the blue night energy and within the conscious evolution process to install programs. So like Neo in the Matrix, one element of it is that he wakes up and realizes the reality. But the other side of that, and I think this is sometimes what's lacking from like, you know, the truth conspiracy movements. It's like, okay, yep, bullshit, 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 bullshit. But what you can then get caught in is fear, 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 and not the element of like, create a consciousness. What the fuck do I want to install into this being that I am? How can I install superpowers? And, you know, the installation of superpowers is essentially about really creating solidified beliefs inside of unlimitedness, of abundance. So within this blue night energy, we're talking about the subconscious, but the subconscious is where creator consciousness is filtered through. And we can make the subconscious conscious, and it's still, you know, creator consciousness is being filtered through whatever structures are there. So I know like early on in the game, it's like, oh, affirmations are great. We should all do affirmations. And it's like my conscious self is thinking these things. But 90% of my being is like, well, that's fucking bullshit because it's caught up in all of these old structures. But if we are dismantling these old structures, then we have the space to install these affirmations or new beliefs into our beings. What is it that we want to create? And this is something that, you know, my partner and I just keep living again and again and again. It's like shadow work, dissolving, and then visioning creation process. And it might be that you use things like sigil magic or vision boards or altars or whatever it is, you know, visualization. It's the two pieces together that create a different kind of reality. And I think the thing that I really learned this year, because for me I work in, you know, galactic years, so it goes from July to July. This year for me was about the creation of esteemed creatives and the birthing of that. And, you know, what happened through that creation process was that I was drawn, you know, I'm a projector in human design with mainly open centers. So I'm not really suited to being in a certain place again and again and again and showing up on full energy. You know, like I need time to retreat. And not only that, because of my relationship with time and coming out of the Gregorian calendar and the clock, to then be kind of in this space of like, whoa, I'm really in this matrix of like having to show up on a day each week, on multiple days each week that don't mean anything to me at the same time of these days. It was just like, whoa. And what I found within that was by simply existing in that structure, my ability, even though I was manifesting a massive dream that I'd been feeding for a decade, it took me out of being able to consciously exist in creator consciousness, because I was constantly living in the feedback loop of the past. It was like there was no space. And I think this is what happens with this time framework that we've been indoctrinated into. It's like you don't really have much space and capacity to breathe into presence and be able to then actively dismantle and recreate. So what Blue Night invites us to do is to dive into the subconscious. This is a time of clearing and installing new things, dismantling those beliefs that came from traumatic experience, that came from cultural ideology, and installing things that actually permit the human being to be free. I do really feel this power of like the truth, finding the truth. And it's beautiful to witness that on the planet, we are examining truth, we are rediscovering truth, we are breaking down bullshit, we are highlighting where the truth has been kept from us, where histories have been rewritten, where certain cultural groups have been able to dominate ideology, and all these different pieces. And it's really magical to see it breaking down. And it's really important that we break it down. But sometimes what that can lead us to is deeper and deeper fear. And I think the missing teaching, or the teaching that isn't as popularized at the moment as the we've been lied to and manipulated and oppressed, it's this other thing of like, and we're creator consciousness. And whatever we install into this being that we are currently existing as determines what we can create in this reality. And if our belief system is open into abundance, is unlocked into abundance, we can literally create reality, because we're doing it all the time anyway. So as I say, with this house, for me and my partner, we did this incredible vision board, and we did like a few ceremonies around it. We did a really beautiful one at the top, but we got very specific when we were feeling into what it is that we wanted, and we created it on this big piece of paper, and the specific details that we went into, and then we charged it with body fluids and with cacao and with various other things, and we like visioned it, and then wabam, what we've manifested is better than the specific vision that we had. And this is what we're able to do in this reality, and it could be seen as miraculous. The amount of things, there were like failed credit checks that should not, that should have bounced us straight out. But we had like advocates from the letting agents that were like, these guys are really sound, you should totally let them, even though the system says that they shouldn't, you should totally, like the miraculous way that when we hold the vibration, the thing that we are desiring comes into fruition. And I think there is also something to be said within all of this, which is about our duty to be manifesting for all of us. This home isn't about just me and my partner, it's a family home. It's about his children. It's about us creating a space for all of us to flourish. It's about the community, having a space for the people that we're in connection to come to retreat from the world, to have different experiences. And with everything that we're doing, at the moment, me and my partner are now stepping deeper into Esteemed Creatives, because Esteemed has now got so many branches. We've got like a kick-ass team of creatives that are running the holiday and after school clubs, but we're taking it into schools now. So tomorrow we've got a meeting with the head teacher of a school, and we've created this program called Safe Spaces, which is all about conscious relationship through, relationship to self, relationship to other, and relationship to community. So if anybody works in secondary schools in the UK and feels like they've got an in for us to come and share some of our magic, do get in touch with me, get in touch with us. You know, my details are always at the bottom of the videos. But the way that we're working within that is consciously. So it's like, okay, what is it, you know, what is it that I'm desiring at a really deep level? What is it that sets my soul on fire? And is that in alignment with serving the community? Is it in alignment with serving Gaia? You know, because that's what we're being asked to do now. It's like, I do feel that, you know, the reason that Atlantis went so wonky is because, yeah, okay, we've got all of this spiritual power, but it's not aligned with unity consciousness of for the greatest good of all, consciously, not even just like saying for the greatest good of all, but visioning for the greatest good of all. And sometimes that's micro, you know, the greatest good of all, but it's not just my greatest good, it's our greatest good. And that's the responsibility. So Blue Night is all about the subconscious realms, bringing the subconscious to light, dreaming the new dream, collective dreaming, being of service, letting go of what's in the way, the responsibility of switching ourselves through crafting ourselves into creator abundant consciousness, and then being able to live our dream, that is the dream of all of us, that supports the coming 7 generations, that honors the previous 7 generations. So I hope that you have a beautiful Wavespell. Dream, release what's in the way of the dream, feel into what it is that you're being asked to dream, and know that we've awakened but a speck of our potential in this realm. All right, my darlings, I will see you next time.